Ciao guys, we are here in the cellar of Roscioli, Roscioli, and we thought we would give you some quick ideas on how to pair the Wine Club 1 selections with your Thanksgiving dinner. The idea basically is that Thanksgiving is going to be a heavy meal and you just don't want to have wines that are too heavy around. Alright, so of course they're going to start off with some appetizers, and this is going to be anything from different little fried foods, things that are baked in the oven, sometimes shrimp might be passed, you'll have vegetable trays. It's going to be a big mix in terms of appetizers. Any suggestions for the appetizers?
You have to, but that, as far as I understood, it's kind of a complex, various thing, and you have a bit of a problem with sugar in US. Not a problem, but you tend to have a lot of sweet sides, and that could be slightly problematic. I would say that with all these issues, I would stick with 2 wines for tier 1, which is the Monpiano Brut, which is the sparkling, and eventually even the Timorasso d'Erdona, even though the Timorasso might be used even for something slightly more important than appetizer. The main issue is that Timorasso doesn't have any added sugar. It tends to have a kind of a creamy nose, but with a nice salty finish.
Another thing too is there might be a few of you that don't get your wines, unfortunately, with shipping delays. In this event, you can go out and buy any Franciacorta, which would work ideally, more or less. Well, depends on, of course, what you have available.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. She's kind of this is a wishful thinking. I don't think you're gonna find any good Franciacorta unless you are in Chambers Street in New York.
If you find Solo Uva, buy Solo Uva. If you're in New York, you maybe have a chance, but that's about it. So, in terms of vegetables, because usually that's where we're gonna go to next, and this is gonna be the part of the dinner where there's gonna be. I know you didn't even know what they were, but there's going to be things like cranberries, or we say cranberry sauce. You'll have mashed potatoes with gravy, scalloped potatoes, all sorts of different kind of cheese potatoes done in a myriad of different ways, yes.
Potatoes is like the bread of the vegetables, so technically makes your palate basic, and so it will go with any possible wine ever. So I wouldn't.
You have 12 to choose from.
So yeah, somehow yes, maybe. I wouldn't use the more expensive or important ones, so I would skip for sure maybe the Barbera from Scarsello. I would skip even the Nero Miniera, which is an incredible complex wine, and I would skip even the Rosso di Montalcino. I would use maybe the Tintiglia, which is a grape variety from Molise, which is a light red, and maybe the Plantamura Primitivo, which is kind of a different Primitivo from what you usually expect from super ripe type of Primitivo.
Although, now if we go on to, more of a turkey, so we're now at the meat portion. What about Primitivo for the meat, for the turkey?
Turkey, as far as I remember, it's a really dry type of plate. Even the one that we tried at your Thanksgiving was actually kind of nice and juicy. And now you need something slightly more structured. In this case, you can go with the Barbera Scarsello, which is the one we're drinking right now. You know, this kind of a nicer, fruity, plummy flavor with a little refreshing acidity at the end. So it should cover your palate with a bit of a creaminess and finish with a bit of a dryness, but not tannic dryness. The tannin is actually really soft here. So to me here, this is possibly the best pairing of your selection. But you can even try with the Cesanese. From Damiano Ciolli, which is a beautiful Pinot Noir-ish style of wine.
That would actually be a really nice pairing for turkey.
And even the Nero Miniera, and even the Barbera from Paladino. Possibly all the reds you have, they can go perfectly with turkey. I might skip the Plantamura and the Tintiglia and the Rosso di Montalcino.
And if you didn't get your wines in time, this could be an easy wine to find. Would be a good old American Pinot Noir, a Gamay. There's of course the infamous Beaujolais Nouveau, but
good American Pinot Noir is an oxymoron, I think. But
hey,
maybe you could go with a nice. You know what? Santa Barbara makes good Pinot Noir. You could go with the Merlot. I know that sounds a bit kind of off the bit, and the Merlot is considered somehow the chicken McNuggets of wine nowadays. But technically Merlot, if it is well done, maybe not coming from the warmest part of Napa, but something that coming from a cooler area in the US, I don't know, maybe Washington State, they do some good Merlot. That could be a nice chance to somehow bring back to fortune a grape variety that has been destroyed by commercial wines and industrial wines, especially by sideways.
For sure by sideways. And I guess the last thing we have to do is pumpkin pie.
Oh wow! That's tough. I love pumpkin pie. And remember that I was supposed to come a couple of days earlier. She was trying to convince me because we were supposed to go to New York in 2019, and I said I will come to your Thanksgiving and I will change my plane. It's going to cost me much more as long as I have a pumpkin pie.
I think you ate pumpkin pie before you even ate anything else.
I think I ate the entire cake. I mean, all of it. The whole pie was actually for me. With a lot of cream and stuff. Pumpkin pie, wow.
Moscato, maybe.
You have the Regina di Felicità, which is possibly the best Moscato ever. We have been risking a bit in this selection because usually we don't put the dessert wines.
This
Sometimes
is a
people
beautiful dessert wine. This is made partially with ice wine, by the way, which a lot of you maybe have never actually tasted before, which would be a nice opportunity for you to taste a bit of ice wine. About 75% or so is ice wine, and the other part is the regular must. But it also takes 2 years to make this Moscato. So this is, you could call it like the champagne of Moscato.
It stays actually more than 3 years.
More than
3 years it's in on yeast, and it's actually partially made with a bit of ice frozen grapes. And I think that the harvest is in late December, early January, which is really unique. And this gives the wine, I mean, beside the concept of sugar and the flavor of sugar, a nice salty, icy flavor. And with pumpkin, it could go. It's not the ideal pairing, but it for sure is the only one that can go with it.
What should they get if they want to pair something else with pumpkin pie?
I don't think I don't really.
A sweet Michigan late harvest raisin?
I don't know. I never tried. I mean, more than once, not just you told me that Michigan wines are not as bad as they might think.
No, for sure they really
Say
are.
something nice about Michigan wines. That was the Detroit.
The Detroit slogan.
Say something nice about Detroit. It's a T-shirt that is sold in every single market of Detroit. But yes,
that could be a late harvest wine.
Yeah.
Nothing sauternes.
No, absolutely
way too heavy. Or skip wine at this point.
See, for sure, maybe skip wine. That's usually my suggestion. But Moscato.
But that Moscato is really beautiful.
Sure.
You're not going to often get a red or a sparkling sweet wine in our shipments. This happens about once every 3 years so far that we include
I would like to do it every time because I think we should,
Revival.
The idea I would like to do Podere Pradarolo, the Canto del Ciò.
Canto del Ciò is like, people buy it.
It's actually a bit of expensive. It's $60-$70 wine. Bottle of wine, but I don't know if they have enough for the wine club because they're really limited production. We might speak with them to have it in the future. I want to go to visit them.
But
settle?
No. I mean, well, more importantly, Thanksgiving, of course, this year more than ever, probably even like last year, is a moment where let's remember just to keep the priorities in check. This is a time to be with family, make really nice moments, share, talk together. Make it a meaningful dinner. I'm going to be going back home to see my dad. We don't even know if they're going to close the borders again, so, things are changing on a day-to-day pace. So enjoy this one more than anything. If your wine club shipment did not arrive, we apologize sincerely. Reach out if you need any other wine suggestions. There are just major delays in the supply chain this year due to employee shortages. It's global, it's everywhere, it's even with Amazon Prime. Every year we try to get better, and every year we get
I don't know
better.
if you noticed, but we're getting much better in a lot of side aspects of the wine club. It is about the private videos, it's about the private labeling, it's about that every single bottle will become soon mainly only for us, like this one here.
QR codes on the back of every single label to scan, to see where the wine is coming from, to watch the videos.
This production was made only for us, more or less, and it's getting beautiful. It's actually getting the most. It started as a game, and now it's the core business and
the second this pandemic is done, I promise you, we have a lot of plans to make this wine club even smoother in terms of shipping. They'll probably take another year and a half to roll out properly, but we're working on it. We're coming to New York, and that's step one. Yeah. We're going to be there for 10 days, more or less. We've sold out 500 seats in like 24 hours. We had to even open up a few more. And our goal is to actually have a business physically in New York. So that's what we're working towards, and that will change everything in terms of logistics. So hang tight, guys. We promise you that we work endlessly to make this thing smoother and easier for you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Ciao.
We'll see you soon. Cheers. you.